Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shirat David Baruch Hashem. Such a beautiful, beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. Look at the sun. The sky is so beautiful. We are so blessed to be here, Baruch Hashem. Okay, all of Eretz Yisrael is very nice, right, Mordechai?
Right.
Here we go. Okay, and Baruch Hashem, we have this list to get together to learn Likutey Halachos. We're learning Hilchos Haidah, giving thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's one of the most important things to always give thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to recognize all the kindness that Hashem bestows upon us constantly. He's constantly doing such wonderful things for all of us, and He's protecting us, and He's helping us, and He's granting us so many beautiful. It's unbelievable. Sometimes just stop and say, "Thank you, Hashem." It's such a beautiful thing. All right, but we're learning the laws where you're required to say thank you. I just was mentioning that you just think about the gratitude. Think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu and have gratitude for what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing. Okay. Now we're learning Hilchos Haidah. We're in Halacha Hey. We're starting today, and we're going to do the introduction. This is based on lesson Lamed Aleph, which is 31. Okay, we're going to see now. So he starts off again. Arba tzrichim laheidos yardei hayam holchei midbariyos. As we know, someone that goes to the sea, travels the sea. Holchei midbariyos. He travels through the desert. Or you have a chayla that was isrape, you have a chayla that was sick, and he got healed, right? Or someone that was incarcerated, and he got freed. And we said the nice thing to remember that if you're not sure, you can always remember by the acronym of Chayim. Why? The Ches is for chayla. Hear this? Isn't this nice? Look at this. Ches is for chola. Sick. The person was sick. The Yud is for Yam. The other Yud is for Yisurim, right? The person was praying. He had troubles. And then the last one is the Mem is for Midbar. Okay, so that's we have the acronym over there. Okay, now he says Al Pi HaTorah Islan Berei Bedabra. This is lesson 31 in Likutey Moharan, and he's going to give us now the pointers from the lesson, and then we're going to continue on how it pertains to Birchas Haidah. Okay, so he's going to give us in other words, Reb Nosson is connecting Birchas Haidah, the laws of giving thanks to Hashem when a person found himself in one of the four circumstances requiring him to say thank you. And Reb Nosson is tying that to lesson 31, and he does it in the most amazing way. Here we go. We're going to take a look now. With Siyata Dishmai. Vaklal. Shetzedaka manheges kol galgalei harakia. When a person gives tzedakah, we don't have any idea what we're doing. But it literally transforms. It says, the Chazal tell you tzedakah is tatzal mimaves. It can help a person from death, right? It can save a person from death. But do you ever think of how that works? Why if I give money to somebody, can it help me and protect me, or anyone can be protected from death because they gave money? You ever think of that? So here we're going to learn a little bit about it. What happens is when we give money is also known as damim, right? Blood, right? Damim. We learned about that. I'm giving over myself to somebody else. I'm giving it to somebody else. I'm giving somebody else something. In other words, it's mine, right? I went to work. I earned the money. I paid the taxes. Whatever I had to do. This is my money now. But I can give my money over to somebody else. So in Shemayim, we can change over all of the different systems that are going on in heaven. So if the person, we learned the other day that if a person needs a miracle, Hashem takes it from Olam Haba, takes it from the next world, and he plugs it into this world, right? He was saying the same idea. So now, how does Hashem do that? So when you give the money for tzedakah, he switches around all the mazolas and all the things up in Shemayim. He makes a change. It's not al teva. He changes it. It's a wonderful thing to think about what it means to give money to somebody and then imagine what changes are going on up in heaven at that very moment, during that transaction. It's amazing. I mean, I'm amazed today, we have these apps. You can do the Bit or the Paybox or Zelle, any of these things. It's amazing. I have money's here. Click, money's there. Did you ever think what had to go on behind the scenes for that to go from me to you or you to me? You ever use those apps?
Sure.
Did you ever think of it? You just clicked it. Oh, it works.
Money is a concept. It's not like physical money. It's it's like bits and bytes that you transfer.
I understand, no, but there's nothing physical in the next world also, Rav Shalom.
No, sure.
So we're trying to say it. I'm just trying to give you examples of how things are going on that you have no idea.
And if you're using a credit card, it's not even your money right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's some other money from somewhere else going. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. No, but they say that even if someone wants to give money for tzedakah, or they want to do a mitzvah, they want to give with credit card, you can, because it automatically obligates you.
Sure.
So it's not whatever. Just the concept. I give my money. Things are changing up in Shemayim. Things are okay.
It's like a transfusion, a blood transfusion.
Okay. V'chol hayisurim sheyesh lo'adam bedrachim. And all of the problems people have on their journeys, right? People have problems when they're journeying, right? Especially going to the Rebbe for Rosh Hashanah, right? You always have problems on the journeys, right? Hu besibas galgali harakia. That's because all of these things are going on in Shemayim. There's all these different systems. Halacha hey. All these different things are going on in Shemayim. We don't have any idea. Huh? No, halacha hey. The introduction. Hu besibas galgali harakia. Ki yesh koichavim shehem mechayivim sheyia derech. There are different stars, different things in Shemayim that require certain things to happen a certain way. But I can change it by giving money for tzedakah. That's why a lot of people give money before they go on a journey. They'll put some money in tzedakah, right? Or they give shliach mitzvah money, right? Because they give tzedakah. Tzedakah is something that can change the whole derech. It's fascinating. And there are those that have to go, that have to be in the midbar. That's hard. And therefore, what a wonderful thing it is. It's brought down from the Elio Rabbah. Kishiyoytze lederach toiv litein tzedakah tzedek lefonav yahalech. He brings the pasuk in Tehillim, tzedek lefonav yahalech. Tzedek lefonav yahalech. Isn't that nice? No, so when you're going to go out on a journey, put some money in tzedakah. Have in mind, I'm giving this tzedakah that I should change whatever is going on in Shemayim. That there shouldn't be traffic jams. I shouldn't get tickets. I shouldn't this. Whatever the thing is, whatever the person is, that I can get there on time. All the different. Right. Kamei tzedek lefonav yahalech v'yosem lederech pa'amav. V'yikesh shleimus hagalgalim shleimus hatzedakah einay ela b'Shabbos. The bechinas emuna. The tzedakah is b'Shabbos. Wait a second, I don't give money on Shabbos to tzedakah. right? You don't give money on Shabbos. How can I can't give tzedakah on Shabbos. Well, first of all, you can give money on tzedakah on Shabbos, right? You make a pledge in shul, right? You get an aliyah, right? Or you want to, there's an appeal. You can give money, right? You can certainly do that. It's the same idea, the same concept. How that works is the same way the concept they took it from the credit card. Because again, the credit card, nothing's happening. He swipes my credit card. You do the whatever. What happened? Same thing. When I pledge, I want to give 1,000 shekel, $500, or whatever denomination you want to give. It obligates you. But also on Shabbos, we said there's also tzedakah you can give with the words. Remember we said that? Words. Diburim. Diburim can also be tzedakah, right?
So we could feed poor people on Shabbos.
You can, of course you can.
That's tzedakah.
Yeah, no, naturally. We're getting there. We say also words, right? Also words. In other words, you can use words to comfort a person, to give a person, encouragement and so on. But we know the whole idea of Shabbos is emunah, right? Right? That's whole thing is emunah. The whole thing of Shabbos is emunah. We learned last week. We were learning the idea that during the 6 days of the week, you have all the pulas mishtanos. You have all these different things that are going on, and then when it comes to Shabbos, everything is one. You bring it back to the oneness of Shabbos, oneness of Hashem. During the week, everything is so mixed up, but when Shabbos comes, tranquility, emunah. And then the way you're going to have you really feel the emunah is a person is holy, pure. A person is pure with kedushas habris, kedushas einayim, right? Shmiras einayim, shmiras asnayim, shmiras hapeh is shmiras habris, right? If a person's working on his sanctity, so of course he'll have more emunah. He'll have less dividers dividing him from Hashem. Right? The closer, the purer a person becomes, the closer he can become to Hashem without all of those dividers that are dividing him. Okay. There are two kinds of bris that you can keep the emunah. And what are these two kinds of bris? Bechinas Avraham. Shehu bris ilah. There's a kind of a bris that's up on high. There's a treaty that's up on high. Bris ilah. High. Shehu rakia hamavdil bein mayin iloyin lemayin tatoyin. And that was on the second day when HaKadosh Baruch Hu separated the waters, the upper waters from the lower waters, right? On the second day, Hashem, it was all water. And then Hashem decided he was going to, on the second day, he made a separation between the upper waters and the lower waters. And then we learned about that the lower waters said they felt slighted, right? The lower waters felt slighted, and they felt, what is this? How come we are not connected to the kedusha of up on high? So Hashem said, don't worry. The Nisach HaMayim in the Beis HaMikdash, they did the water libations, right? They did libations of wine, but when it came to Sukkot, they didn't do the wine, they did the water. And then that was the appeasement that Hashem gave. And then Hashem gave the appeasement of Mayim was a mikveh. And so on. Okay, so that was, okay, we learned that. Okay. Bebechinas Eliezer. So you have Abraham Avinu is the Bris law, and then you have Eliezer. How has Eliezer come in? Eliezer was the servant of Abraham Avinu, right? And Abraham Avinu, he says here, look at this. Eliezer, Shuhu Bechinas Bris Tato, Shuhu Bechinas Chanoich Metat. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Avraham Avinu wanted to find a wife for Yitzchak, remember? He needed to find a wife for Yitzchak. So he asked Eliezer to go back to Haran, where Lavan would be, and ask him to get no Besuel. That was Besuel. Excuse me. That was Besuel, right? Besuel, where Besuel will be, and then they'll be able to get a wife for Yitzchak. He didn't want any women from Canaan. He didn't want anyone from where he was living. He didn't want any. Okay, so he tells Eliezer to put his hand tachas yirechi, under my thigh, tachas yirechi, and swear. So you see from that the Eliezer is connected to the bris tato. So Avram Avinu is the bris ilah, Eliezer is the bris tato. Okay. Eliezer wanted. Well, there's so many stories about that, but let's just stick to what we're doing. We're doing over here. Okay. And then we have again the Malach Matat. We said the Malach Matat. Yes, last week we learned about him. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives the Malach Matat control over the world during the 6 days a week, of the 6 days of creation, 6 days of the week. Hashem is behind the scenes running everything the Malach does, of course. Don't think that Hashem gives over the control and the Malach does whatever he wants. No. Of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is guiding him and making sure he's still doing what he wants, but it's not done through Hashem directly. And why does Hashem do that, we said? Because we have to have Bechira, free choice, to choose Hashem. We need to have free choice constantly. If we would have clarity in the world all the time, so then how would you find Hashem? It wouldn't be any trick to find Hashem. It would be clarity. Only when you have all the opposition in the world, but yet you still choose Hashem, that's amazing. You understand? Burakia mabdel bein mayin the choyan lemayin misavin. So these are the waters that divided from the holy waters, but to the impure waters, the waters of this world. And again, we know that any pleasures of this world, any pleasures that a person has that are connected to, that's all coming from water. That's the water tameim, the tummy waters of this world. Water is synonymous with pleasures. Kain Issa Veheter, also Issa Veheter, Bris Ilah, who Shmiras HaBris Kodesh, that's the Bris Kodesh, is the Bris Ilah. Bris Tata, who Shmiras Issa Veheter, the lower bris, the bris tata, is watching things from Isser Veheter. Again, this I can do, this is no good. This is also, this is mutter. I could do this, I can't do this. And that's constantly, that's halacha. Right? So we need we need that down over here in order to traverse the world in a good way, to be able to go through the world. And you need to always constantly be asking, is this also this mutter? Is this pata? When it comes to Shabbos, it's pata avalosa, right? You have to know that, right? And on Shabbos, Hilchas Shabbos, amazing thing. It tells you pata, right? But pata avalosa. You're not allowed to, you putter from the Aveir, but you're not allowed to do it. Whatever. Okay. A person has to have both aspects of bris. The bris up on high, of holiness, and the lower bris, the bris of Avram Avinu, the bris of Eliezer. We need both of these aspects constantly. Hainu she'et tzaddik v'lamdin. Person has to be both a tzaddik and a lamdin. What's the tzaddik? The tzaddik is kedushas of bris ilah. The lamdin is the one that learns down over here. What is the lamdin? He learns down here, so he knows what's iser and what's kosher, what's treif. He knows what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do. He knows halacha. Vayedei zeh zoichel lebechinas chesed hainu lahava b'shtoikus l'Hashem yisbarach. And through these two bechinas, if a person has both the bris ilah, which is connected to Avram Avinu, and he has the bris tato, which is connected to Eliezer, which is connected to tzaddik and lamdin. Okay, if he has both of them, then he can be zoicher l'chesed, hainu lahava or l'shtoikus l'Hashem yisbarach. He can have a love and a desire and a pining to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'azai oiseh nefoshes, and then he can make new nefoshes, chadashes. He can make new souls. Hainu she'oiseh nekudos la'oisiyos haTorah. He can make again nekudos to the oisiyos of the Torah. We learned this concept. Remember that? In other words, through a person's ratzon. Remember we learned that? Through a person's ratzon, he creates the vowels for the letters, right? You have vowels. Again, these are many different concepts that Rav Nosson is going to be going through over in Halacha Hey. This again is the preview for the lesson, and this is the prep for the lesson. So he's giving us all the different pointers through lesson Hey. Rav Nosson will go over all of these pointers. Okay, so I'm just explaining them to you basically now. Again, if you want, we could learn lesson Lamed Hey. It's a long lesson. It's a beautiful, beautiful lesson. If you want, we can do that, but we'll see. Let's see how this goes. If you want to learn the lesson, we'll learn the lesson inside. Okay? You make nekudos for the letters. In other words, you have the letters, but the letters without nekudos, without the vowels, you don't necessarily know what the word is. Right? There are many words in Lashon HaKodesh that can mean different things. But if you don't put the nekuda in, you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. Because if you have letters without the nekuda, it's like a guf that doesn't have the nefesh in it. It's not alive. It needs the vowel. The vowel enlivens it. The same way the nefesh enlivens the body. It needs it. Okay. She'ein lahem shum tenua or pa'ula b'lei nefesh. The same way the body can't do anything. The body is dormant. It can't do anything. Right? Without the nefesh, of course, the same thing as a letter, a word in Lashon HaKodesh without the vowels is the same idea. And that's why it's so important for the tzaddik, for the person, to have both the Kedusha Ilah, the Kedusha Tata, connected to Avram Avinu, which is the Chesed of Avram Avinu, and connected to the Bris and Tata of Eliezer in this world. Avram and Eliezer, the higher bris and the lower bris, connected to the higher waters, the lower waters, connected to the idea that you have to be a tzaddik, Avram Avinu tzaddik, and the lamdin, the one that learns, is the lower one. These are the points so far that we need for the lesson. Okay. Well, and then again, if you have the kedusha of the upper kedusha and the lower one, you'll have the hishtoikikus, the ratzon, to come close to Hashem. That ratzon will put nekudas on the letters. Okay. Okay, so then he says here, to do v'chein hitztarfas v'zivugan shel ha'oisiyos, and also it connects and binds and it pairs up the letters. B'reish lamed aleph sha'orim lasais eze pe'ula. Okay, so you have this idea of the reish lamed aleph, and he's going to explain now.
What is it? That's
131.
Huh?
231.
231.
232.
Bir reish lamed aleph. No, you don't count the bays. It's reish lamed. It's 231.
Oh, they translated here 232. But all right.
Well, that's if you use ima koilel. But okay, whatever. Lases eze pula she'ein lahem koyach.
What does that relate to? Is 232?
We're gonna see.
He's gonna explain.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. No. It's actually brought down from Sefer Yetzirah. It's being brought down from Sefer Yetzirah that you have 22 letters. Okay. What?
Explain. You have a note.
Yeah, listen. We're gonna do it later. You'll understand soon. Okay. Ein lahem koyach ela lefi nekudos. They only have their koyach, They only have their power if they have the nekudas. V'nekudas heim ahava v'kisufim v'bechinas nekudas hakosef v'akisufim hein hanefesh. So what we need to understand here for this point of the lesson is this, that again, we need to always have that rotzen to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Again, we learned the concept. The Torah is the rotzen of Hashem. We have to align our rotzen with the rotzen of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we do that, we enliven the letters of the Torah. When we learn Torah, we see the beauty in the Torah. That's what we need to get to, okay? Well, the according to the Kisufin, the more you long and pine to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you have better nekudas. Im kaisef l'ra, if the person chas v'sholem is longing because he wants to do things that are against the Torah, he wants to do ra. Oisin nekudas royim v'azayin nitztorfim oisais v'nizdavgin lasais pulais rois. You see this, how important this is? In other words, what the person wants is how you take the letters through your will. You can either will it to be something good and you'll have shiny, gleaming letters, beautiful letters that are holy because you want good, or chas v'shalom, the person wants bad, he'll have what he wants. He wants bad, so he'll have dark, dingy, dismal letters of what he wants. But if this person wants to come back to tshuva, and we said tshuva is kadma li'olam, tshuva is the highest thing. So the person thought the wrong things, he wanted the wrong things, perhaps he even chas v'shalom did the wrong things, but he wants to come back to Hashem. Again, we said many times that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sets up for a person to stumble, to see what's he going to do. Could be that same person stumbled with this thing again another time beforehand, and the person made tshuva. So Hashem wants to check this person out. Are you really true for what you did? So he sets him up with the same situation. He has him stumble. What does he do now? What does he do this time? We have no idea. Again, we learned this very important concept. Our bechira is our ratzon. That's it. Our bechira is what we want. What we wind up doing, that's up to Hashem. It's amazing. I need to want to do the right thing.
You know, it's funny, for the first time, I was reading Ashrei today.
Yeah.
I looked at the English word, and the last word is, he gives you what you desire.
Yeah, your desire.
So it's like, the desire.
Ritzon Yirei of Yaseh. Ritzon Yirei of Yaseh, yeah. Those that fear Hashem, he gives them the Ratzon.
Yeah. If you have desire, you're not going to get it.
It's all in the Sidur. Yeah, Sidur.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Hainu nefashos toivos umis oinin umis noyanim ha'oisyos. You change the letters and his davgin lasais pulais toivos. You can literally switch them over to make good letters from the bad letters, and that's really connected to Ashrei. That's really connected to Ashrei because again, I'm glad you mentioned that because again, Ashrei has it at the Aleph Beis. Mm-hmm. Ashrei has it at the Aleph Beis. Ashrei has it at also Parnasa. When you're saying the Ashrei, you say Aremimcha Hashem, and you say the Beis and the Gimel, and you're thinking that Hashem, any letters that I did, anything I did wrong, or bad thoughts that I had, bad ritzonos that I had, I want to redeem back all of those letters. So if there are any olives that I did, please Hashem, I want to redeem them. I want to take them from the dark, dismal letters. I want to bring them over to the side of light and holiness. All in the Ashrei. It's in the Ashrei. Okay. Now, v'zeu imarav doime lemalach Hashem tzivokais ki tzarech yiyeh tzaddik. A person needs to be a tzaddik. It says in Ma'ikad, and his shmiras abrisi law v'kisufin l'Hashem yisbarach v'lamdin. So he said you have to be both aspects. You have to be both the tzaddik connected to Avram Avinu, and you have to be the lower level, which is Eliezer, which is the tzaddik and the lamdin. knowing Isser, what do you call it? Knowing what's permitted and what's not permitted in the world. Ayin Shameita. V'ayin b'ma sheshayich lezeh nitfas samach lezeh b'lashoini b'chlal hadava mi'oid yoka hakisufim v'heshtoikikus l'dava shebekdusha. So basically, he's saying it's so beautiful. B'chlal hadava shu yoker, how precious the kisufim v'ishtoikus, when a person really wants to feel close to Hashem. And don't take that lightly. Whenever you're feeling that longingness, you feel lovesick for Hashem. That feeling that I want to be close to you, Hashem, that's the most precious thing we can have. You want to do a mitzvah, you want to do something, you feel so close. I want it so bad. I want that mitzvah so bad. Shal yodam nis ave nefesh toiv v'nigmar al yedei hadibur v'yotzei mizgalgal lefamim mizgalgal uba nefesh tekadusha l'soich harosha v'noiflem al hirei tshuva v'tuch l'zir l'mutav. So even you want to know, sometimes you have a person that's living their life and they're living their life all wrong, and all of a sudden something happens. They say, wait a second. Oh, I want to do, what happened? Hashem sends them another nefesh that says, hey, Adkan, now we're going to do the right thing. It's amazing. Hashem is doing all of these. He wants to see if the person, he sends him the soul to see if the person will pay attention to it. He sends him a holy soul. Are you going to listen to it? Or are you just going to discharge it? I need to do what I want to do. It's amazing.
Combined with the soul you have.
Sometimes he changes it. And how many times people are just dreaming all day long about all things of badness, bad things. And they're just trying to figure out, how am I going to do this Aveira? I want to do that. I want to do this. They're just trying to figure these things out. Look at this. We said that the tzaddikim are responsible for all the people. Right? So sometimes the tzaddik is not davening enough for the people. This person does something wrong, and it comes back into the tzaddik, because he's responsible for them.
Oh.
Person does something wrong, not praying for them, it goes back and it harms the tzaddik, spiritually. V'zeh yesh hevel. Asher nasa al haaretz ayin sham kol heitev. Again, this is all part of lesson 31. These are amazing concepts, all of them. V'ayin sham me'inyan dalid shenichnesu lepardes. And he also brings in there the story, the four that went up on high. The Gemara in Chagiga, right? The Gemara in Chagiga. There were four that went up on high. You had Ben Zoyma, Ben Azai, Ben Zaymer, Rabbi Akiva, and Elisha ben Avuya, right? Those were the four that went up on high. And he explains over there that someone that separates the lamdin from the tzaddik. In other words, that someone takes his learning and he just has his learning as material. His learning is just material. His learning is not connected to Kedusha, right? He goes to university and he's studying Bible in university. There's no Kedusha there, right? There's no Kedusha. He goes to university and he's studying the Talmud. It's a study. There's no holiness involved in that. There's no holiness.
If you go to YU, Yeshiva U, something like that.
I'm okay. Again, in general, we're learning I'm just giving you examples where you need to connect your learning always to Hashem, to the tzaddik, to kedusha. Learning cannot be just for the sense of learning. Learning is connected to Kedusha. It's such an important... You want to say something, Sasha?
Yeah, I remember I learned it also somewhere. I think one of the cards for him that the whole learning. Whenever I sit down to learn, my kavanah should be that I want to get closer to Hashem for this.
B'diuk.
Otherwise,
What's the point of my learning?
Yeah.
In other words, the Torah is the Ratzon of Hashem. So I want to, again, align my Ratzon. I want to get closer to your Ratzon, Hashem. If you're learning like that, that's amazing. Yeah. Shoymer shelamdim levad hu ma'ala. If a person's only is just a lamdin, he's just learning, but his actions don't align with what he's learning, he's nothing. Hu bechinas acher, he's like the other guy Acher, Elisha ben Avuya. You remember how he got his name Acher? Elisha ben Avuya was Shabbos, and he went to a place of a house of harlots, a place of ill repute. Yeah, and he went in there. Shabbos. And then this lady sees him, and she says, "You look like Elisha ben Avuya." Could you imagine how great these? She knew, but she says, "No, it can't be you. It's Shabbos." So Acher has to be somebody else. No, Acher is somebody else. It's not Acher. Means it's not this. It's not you. Acher. It's somebody else. Could you imagine that? And that's how he got his name Acher. Unbelievable. But again, if your learning is not in Kedusha, he was a big tzaddik. Don't get me wrong. Chas v'sholom, I'm not taking. He was the Rebbe of Rab Meir. Okay, he was the Rebbe of Rab Meir.
Wow.
Okay. Again, he went into the paradise, but he didn't understand. Rabbi Akiva gave them specific instructions. Don't look at things you're not supposed to see. Don't get involved into. They didn't listen. Whatever. Ay. Shekitzet vebenetiyos. Nebuch. Shehafred bebechinas metat bebechinas malach. Shu bechinas lamdin bechinas kosher apostle. In other words, he took himself away from the idea of tzaddik and lamdin. You have to be like we said before, right? This again. So we just to finish this idea, so we have to understand and then in Emet Hashem tomorrow we'll go into Aleph and we'll see how all of these things play out. But the point is here like this. The same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu separated the waters. You had the upper waters and the lower waters. But the upper waters and the lower waters are connected. There's still a connection between the two of them. There's a connection. There's Avram Avinu, which is Bris, which is the Kedusha Ilah, which is connected to the upper waters. And then there's Eliezer. Eliezer is the Bris Tato, we said, is the lower Bris. The lower Bris is considered the Lamdin. The upper bris is considered the tzaddik, right? We said, right? We're just reviewing, right? Avram Avinu is tzaddik. Eliezer is the lamdin. Lamdin is one that learns. Lamdin learns. He's studying. He's constantly studying. Tzaddik is connected on high. The lamdin is the lower one. So you have to constantly have these two connected. If you have these two connected constantly, you're learning down here, but you're connected to the kedusha up on high. That's what we're saying. Then you're going to get somewhere. Hashem tzavoka isu bechinas tzaddik b'masim toivim ki be'emes lamdin afilu b'toira b'loi ma'asim toivim einay klum. Look at these words. If a person's studying Torah, he can know all Shas. He can know the whole Zay, but he doesn't do any mitzvahs. He's not using it in a positive way. It's worth nothing. It didn't improve him. The Torah is there to improve it. We said that the Torah is the 613 itim is their advices. If you're not taking the advice of the Torah, so what good is it? Right? A person goes to his therapist, he gives him great advice, but he doesn't listen to it. So he went there, so what? Right? I'm giving you an example. Right? The guy goes to the best doctor, he gives him a prescription, gives him medication, he needs medication, but he doesn't take it. It doesn't help him. If you learn Torah and you don't use it, you don't use it to benefit, it's useless. Adarabah loy zacha nasas loy sam ma'amavis. The Torah says, Chazal tell us that if you're not learning the right way, not only do you not have a sam chayim, it's not a potion for life, it becomes the potion for death. It can become detrimental to the person if you're learning just for the sake of a study. If the guy's taking a course, right? And therefore the Rav has to be doim el malach. Now we understand that the malach is up on high. The Rav is someone down here studying halacha, teaching halacha, but he has to be like the malach. Why is the Rav doim el malach? Because he has to be the same way he has to be connected to the holiness of the malach, of the angel.
Malach is also
Hashem Tzavokos.
Malach is also someone who leads.
Yeah. Hashem Tzavokos haynu shehu lamden b'Torah is a lamden Torah. Oived es Hashem b'tzitkus. He could then form the letters of the Torah for good. Then, from this kind of a lamdin, a person should want to study the Torah from this person. Why? Because his actions are aligned with what he's learning. He's connecting his learning to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's connecting his learning to the advice of the Torah to better him. So this is a person we should learn from. Ba'oisis haTorah mevakshim lekabel nekudos uletzayim mipiv hainu ayedei shepiv yedaber shtoikus v'kisufim v'kedusha. Through the person's hisbaidus, and he's speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he's begging Hashem, I want to fulfill the mitzvahs. I want to be able to learn I want to understand the Torah. Hashem, I want to be close to you. Hashem, I want to help people. I want to do the right thing. Those words are the best words a person can ever have. Shehem bechinas nekudas la'oisos unitztayim nizdavi and la'oisos l'tayv. He can take all the bad stuff and turn it all good from words. Malchus peh. We learned that last week. We had said Malchus is peh. Malchus is the peh. Where does the Malchus get its peh? Where does it get its ability from? From the Zeranpin, the six spheres that are above it. That's where he gets it from. The tzaddik that uses his mouth, he's connected to the spheros. He's connected and he's connecting his learning to the holiness. So that's a tzaddik that can transform things and make things good. The words of the Torah, they can be poetic. Shall kol dava shehem misnagim es oilam. Really, HaKadosh Baruch was a stakel by Raiso by Re'olam. Right? HaKadosh Baruch looked in the Torah and he created the world. Everything in the world is connected to Torah. Right? Everything in the world is connected to Torah. If you're not, yes, you want to say something? Yeah.
So is that how you get the nikudot, the vowels? By having your actions?
Your action, your
ratzon,
ratzon infuses the nekudas onto the words. In the same way we said you could take a word, but change the nekudas of it, and you could change the word, right? You can actually change the whole meaning of the word. Because of nekudas. You can change words with putting different nekudas on the words. You can even change the letters also.
But this is all a spiritual thing. It's not.
Yeah. V'akol kefi hanekudas shebnei adam mamshichin ayedei kisufin. All based on the nekudas that a person can draw down. That a person can draw based on his longing. L'toiv. That I want it to be good. Like we said, the person can use here. The power of ratzon is very powerful. The person can use it to do the best things in the world, to create, to fix things, and to make shalom in the world, to do amazing things. Or chas v'shalom, the person can use the ratzon for the wrong things. And that's up to us. That's our bechira. Do I want good or do I want bad? Do I choose right? B'chata b'chayim. Right? We have to choose life. Right?
Whatever desire we have is what we're going to get.
That's what we're connecting ourselves to, and that's what it'll manifest into. Yes. Yeval kein yesh le tove shnei koichoi zocha nasis loy chayim sam chayim loy zocha lo nasis loy sam moves. Right, and therefore the Torah. Now we understand why the Torah says if you learn Torah the right way, it'll be an elixir of life. And why can it be a potion of death based on what you want? If you want good, it'll be an elixir for life. Right, it'll help you. It'll help you and help everybody else. It can be amazing what you can do. If you want to connect to good, or it could be the sum of it. It could be a potion of death if the person chooses the wrong thing. And again, that's our bechira.
Here's the challenge as I think about it. I grew up in the United States.
Yeah.
Everything that I desired came from there. They told me what I'm supposed to desire. And now I have to flip it all.
But you moved. You're now in Israel, Baruch Hashem, and now you have different ideas and you different things, and you're breathing holy air now, right? You understand? Here, when you're in Israel, you're breathing holy air. It's avia de kedusha. It's not the avia de tumah, right? You're breathing holy air. You're walking on holy soil. It's amazing. Right?
But I still have to give that up.
I understand, but just think about, and that's why we have to constantly think, where are we?
Where are we?
That can give us you the best Ratzon possible. This is the headquarters of Ratzon, it's here in Israel. Right? We learned that. There's nothing about that. Okay, so this is the introduction to Halacha Hey. Okay, so if you like these ideas that we spoke about, we're going to be studying them in the next few lessons. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? No questions. Wow.
It's all about what we want, our desire.
So tomorrow we'll do Aleph. Okay, David, you have the place? Okay. Baruch Hashem. Everyone has the Simcha, you have the place. Okay, good. Okay, everyone has the place. Baruch Hashem. Okay, now we're going to go learn Halacha in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Okay, we are up to now in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, Baruch Hashem. It's so what a wonderful thing is to learn halacha every day. Okay, so we are learning Hilchas Pas Akum, Bishulei Akum, and Cholav Akum, which is Siman Lamed Ches 38 in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and I think today we're up to Gimel. Correct? Okay, here we go. Lo Yasru Pas Shel Akum Ella Shel Chameshes Mine Dogon. Okay? What can classify pas akum, bread of a Gentile? What is that? It has to be from the 5 grains. And we studied a lot about the 5 grains, right? Ava pas kitniot, or corn, right? Katarga, okay? Einay bechlal pas. So if you have cornbread, or other kind of breads that they make from other potato bread. They make potato bread, Shalom?
The Shabbos for Pesach they make potato rolls, right?
Yeah, no, but there's also potato bread. They actually make potato bread. I don't know, whatever. People make all kind of things. All right? That would not be considered pas akum. You may have other problems. You may have bishul akum that we're going to learn, but it won't be classified as pas akum. V'gam einay also mishum bishulei akum, the ha einay oila al shulchan melachim. Why? This is the klal. He says over here, v'einay also mishum bishulei akum. It's not also bishul akum, but we're going to see. It depends what he put inside it. So that's a hot topic right there. But here's the klal. You would only put on the table of a king one of the 5 grains. You wouldn't serve the king cornbread, potato bread. This is all cheap stuff. You wouldn't serve that on the shulchan of the melech. And because you wouldn't put it on the shulchan of the melech, it's not considered important. You understand? And what's the point? So that way they wouldn't have used it for their avodah zarah or their other things. You understand? Because only things that are important would they want to use for their avodah zarah. So the question is, did they use the bread? But if they use cheaper things, probably not. And therefore, we don't have the problem of pas akum. Okay, so pas akum is only the 5 different grains. Got that? And again, we're studying these things again to understand if a person's traveling is b'shas atchak, what can he do, right? What can he do? So we said that it's sometimes when a person's traveling and he has bread that was made, it was pas palter, right? Pas palter that it was made in a place that they only make bread, in this. So in that case, if he has no other bread and they only make bread there, so then he would be able to have that bread if there's no toppings on it. Right? One of these things that we learned about. And then the most important thing is anytime you're in a place, let's say you're out of town somewhere, you're somewhere away, so you can always ask the bakery, hey, when you're going to turn on your ovens in the morning, would you mind if I turn them on? Right? Let's say a person's traveling, right? The person's traveling, and he comes to a town, and he wants bread, but there's no kosher bread there. He can't find any kosher bread. So you go to the baker and say, in the morning, listen, do me a favor, I'll pay you a little. I like the opportunity to turn on your ovens. So if the Jew turns on the oven, so then it's not pas akum anymore. There are different things we'll learn about that we can do. The same like we said yesterday, if the Jew takes a piece of wood, right, a wood burning oven, and he puts throws a little log in there, then it takes, whatever, we said a log, okay, yeah, but he does something that shows he's taking it, that he understands his pas akum, and I want to protect myself from the pas akum, that's the thing. Okay, so everyone should have a wonderful day. B'sorah tovot, and we'll meet again tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem. Okay? Thank you.